Good morning, folks with abundant hearts. So, this morning we're making something really delicious. We're going to be making ricotta cheese. Now, I know the thought of making cheese might seem really daunting, difficult. It's not, I promise. I got it right on my very first time making it, mostly after one little glitch, but I managed to save it, which I will tell you about. But let's make some ricotta cheese. Yeah. So the first thing you're gonna need is a very large pot. You are going to need a cup and a half of heavy cream. And you are also going to need 8 cups of milk, which I have come to the conclusion is 2 liters of milk. Now, there's a reason why I don't just have a 2-liter container. It's because I wanted the milk that was the highest fat one, because then you get a more creamy, unctuous ricotta cheese. So heavy cream, you don't necessarily want the whipping cream, but have a fairly high fat content one. So easy peasy to start. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add these milks to the pot. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, that's not the best place for my pan. So let's go ahead. Let's add this to the pot. So that's 1 liter. Okay. Pour that in. All right, 1 liter, and put that off to the side, get it out of my way. 2nd liter, so 8 cups in total. Don't ask me what that is in quarts or whatever, but 8 cups or 2 liters. That's what you want, and you want this full fat milk. All right, perfect. And now we're gonna add in this 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Done. Excellent. And then from there, putting that off to the side, get it out of my way. From there, you want a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now, I'm just going to eyeball it, but you guys should probably measure it just because I'm a little insane. So, a little bit of a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now, on the heat, going on the heat, we are going to put it on medium heat, all right? You want to bring it slowly to a boil, all right? I'm just going to give this a quick little stir. And here, if you want some insight into what this looks like right now, that's what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to bring this to a boil slowly. And because what's going to happen is once it starts boiling, the curds and the whey are going to separate. So I don't know if you remember when you were a kid, talking about little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. That's what we're making. We're basically making curds and whey. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to get this up to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got a candy thermometer here, so we're going to be able to test it out later on. But it's going to take about 15 minutes to heat up to that temperature. So I'm just going to let this go. While it's going, mind the mess. My roommate has some dishes to put away. So while we're doing that, now we have one more ingredient. Literally 4 ingredients in ricotta cheese, people. 4, all right? The last ingredient is lemon juice. You can use vinegar. It'll be a different flavor, like it'll be a more neutral flavor if you're not into lemon. And that's fine if you're not into lemon. I just happen to adore lemons. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, which they say is about 2 lemons. But I have a feeling I might get a 1/4 cup out of this. Really, I mean, look how large this lemon is. So I've got two here just in case I need them. But that's what we got. So let me see if I can show you what we got going on here. How can I get this? Technical difficulties. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can. Okay, let's change the angle. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I really, my adjustment to this recipe was I also put in lemon rind. All right, lemon zest. So here's what we're gonna do. Got my box grater, and on this one, okay, this setting right here, or if you happen to have a lemon zester yourself, then do that. But I'm gonna be zesting this lemon. So let's get this done. Okay, zesting lemons. So I like to go, I kind of like do this because then I get more evenly, because you don't want to go all the way down to the pith. And this is the white part, the pith. So this is optional, this part. If you don't like lemon flavor as much as I do, then don't add the lemon rind. It's okay, you don't have to. So let's just zest this lemon, and then after we've zested the lemon, then we can juice it. So we'll do that. All right. Now the other thing too is we're in the midst of a pandemic. I don't want to waste anything. I make lemon squares and I put the lemon zest into the lemon squares. So even if I'm not using the lemon zest in this recipe, I'm still going to save it for another application. So there we go. Got that going. Now what happened last time is I only brought it to 195. I didn't bring it to a simmer. I didn't bring the milk mixture to a simmer. And you should bring the milk mixture to a simmer, because then that way that's going to separate the curds and whey, but I will show you what happens once we get to that point. So see, we're just delicately, ever so gently, well, not gently, being a little bit rough with these, just zesting this lemon. It's not that hard, see? It's pretty accessible. All right, so now I've got this nice little pile of lemon zest that I can use in my baking or in my ricotta, which I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it in my ricotta. So give me a second. I'm just going to clean this up and then we will juice that lemon. All right. So now it is time to juice these lemons. So I think I'm probably only going to need one of these to make up a quarter cup, but I'm going to juice them both anyway because I'll just use the juice for another application, baking or iced tea or whatever I'm doing. So first thing you want to do is you want to roll your lemons, all right? Roll your lemons because that's going to help you get some of the juice out of them. Now, because we've just zested these lemons, actually, that might have done the job for us, all right? So let me just very quickly, we're going to cut this lemon, and I'm going to teach you a little trick that I use. There's actually going to be two tricks here, and excuse me while I get this out. First of all, it's good to have a little mini strainer if you have one that you can strain this over so you get all the pips. So if you want to, you can do it like that. But if you would like to, if you don't have a little strainer and you want to save it, juice them upside down. Look. That way you get all the pips. You can control the pips. See, look, the pips are coming out. I just toss them away. Done. So let's juice this. Let's juice these lemons. And you want to get all the juice you can out of these things. Again, we're in the midst of a global pandemic. Don't waste food. So I'm going to juice these lemons, and I will meet you back here. All right, folks. So, moment of truth. Look at this. It's getting some nice little steam going there. So I think it's time that we measure the temperature. So I've got this candy thermometer. Not all of you will have a candy thermometer, and that's okay. Oh, look. That's my buddy Garbo. He likes to jump on top of the dish rack. Let's keep him in the shot. I like him. So, candy thermometer. Hey, buddy. All right, let's measure this. I'm going to turn my candy thermometer on. It's an electronic one. Cats, am I right? Okay, let's measure this. Let's see. And you don't want to put your candy thermometer all the way down to the bottom because it will give you a false read. All right, I would say we're at 182. All right, so perfect. There he is. We'll just keep him up there because he's sleeping. It's a little bit warm today, so Cat wants to go up top there to cool down. So we're at 182 Fahrenheit, which means we're almost there. Once we get there is when I'm going to add the lemon juice. And then once we add the lemon juice, we're going to let it boil for another minute or two, turn off the heat, and then you're going to want to strain it because the curds in the whey are going to separate and you need to strain them out. So get yourself a fine mesh strainer. If you have cheesecloth, put the cheesecloth on top of here. I do have cheesecloth, but I've decided that I'm going to try it without. And put a bowl at the bottom to catch that whey. But here's the thing. You can actually use whey in your baking. You can use it to tenderize meat. So keep it. Keep that whey. I've got a little plastic container here that I'm going to use to keep my whey. All right? Because the last time that I made ricotta cheese, I saved the whey and I used it to marinate chicken, and it was so tender. It was so good. So keep your whey after you make ricotta. Nothing wasted. Again, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Don't waste anything, okay? Don't waste anything. All right, so I'm really getting some good steam off of here, so I'm going to measure the temperature again. Let's do this. All right, 192. It's getting up there. It's heating. It's happening. All right. So he's having a bath now. You're having a bath now, buddy, huh? Just our luck, his sister will come and join us. I have Greta, who's my girl cat, and then Garbo, that joker up there who likes to jump on top of the dish rack. Oh, I could hear her, actually. Anyway. All right, so I think we might be at 195 here. I'm just going to do a last quick check. I'm getting a face full of steam, so my hair's starting to, feel it. We're at 194. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab a 1/4 cup of that lemon juice that I just squeezed. Now, if you need more of it, that is fine, okay? Add more. That's Greta. All right, so I'm going to add the lemon juice now that we're almost at we're 1 degree off of 195. I'm going to add the lemon juice. Almost immediately, you're going to start to see it curdle, so separating the curds in the whey. You really probably don't want to stir it too much because otherwise you'll break up those beautiful curds. Unless you want small curd cheese, you can do that. But I'm just going to let this go. I might stir it once and then go from there. So here we go. Moment of truth. And I'm going to put in some of that lemon zest. Putting the lemon zest in. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do this. I'm just going to give this one little stir just to get the lemon zest incorporated. Okay, there we go. Now let's watch it do its thing. Oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful. All right, now, once it starts boiling, we're really going. See, you can already see it's starting to curdle at the edges there. Let's see how we're doing. Oh. It's starting. Now, if you need more lemon juice, that's fine. Add more lemon juice. You're not going to hurt it any. Sometimes if it doesn't curdle immediately, it's because there's not enough lemon juice in there. I'm going to wait for this to actually come to a simmer. You want Garbo in the shot. Come on. You know you want cute cats. There he is. So cat mom life, am I right? Cat parent life. Okay, so this is actually starting to curdle because it's starting to come to a boil. I can see it. Let me just show you. See all that's happening? This is all the curdling that's happening. Now, mine is probably not high enough, so I'm going to turn this up a tiny bit, but I also don't want it to be too hot because I don't want to burn anything. So look at that go. See, you can see it's starting to bubble and it's starting to separate. Now look, watch this magic happen. Look at this. Okay, now we're boiling. Furious boil. And look at that. See, it's starting to separate. We're going to let that just go for a minute or two. And then we're going to stop it and we're going to drain it. Okay, see, look, that's all separating. We're just going to let it go for a minute or two. And then we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. All right, but I just see I'm starting to see all that separation happening. So let's turn off the heat and we're gonna let it sit for 5 minutes. We're making cheese here, folks. Who would have thought you could actually make cheese? We're actually making cheese. Like, I never in my life thought that I would make cheese. That was not something that I ever thought I could do at home with my cat. All right, so I'm going to get this done. I'm going to let this sit for 5 minutes, and then we're going to drain it into that into the bowl strainer combo that I showed you. And then you're just, once you drain it, you're just going to let it sit there for 20 to 60 minutes, depending on how firm you want your cheese. I like mine fairly firm and liquid free. Oh, there she is. Come here, baby, say hi. Come say hi. And this would be Greta. Hi, Greta. Look at what's going on in the pot, Gretzky. Oh, big stuff happening. All right, cool. So I just touched a cat, so I'm going to go wash my hands. And then I'll be back to show you about draining this cheese. So hang tight. All right, folks, time to drain. Let's grab the pot. Now, if you have a bigger bowl than this, I highly recommend it. um, I don't right now have one that I can use, so I'm just going to go back and forth between these two bowls because, like I said, I want to catch that whey when I separate the curds and the whey, because that whey is really useful. Like I said, you can use it to tenderize meat. You can use it in place of water in your baking. So here we go. All right. Draining. Oh, it's splashing everywhere. Okay, so there's more in the pot, but I'm just showing you. This is what you want. You want this draining to happen. And then this whey, which is like this milky looking liquid, I'm gonna transfer it. Again, if you've got a bigger bowl, you won't need to do this. But unfortunately I don't. So I'm just gonna transfer that over to my other bowl, right? And then I've got this whey, so I can put the whey into this Tupperware container to save, put in the fridge and save for later. All right, so that's really all that this is you're just gonna be draining. So here we go. Let's drain some more. Be very careful. This is very, very hot. Very, very hot. All right, I'm taking it kind of slowly. I'm doing this in batches because I don't want to burn myself. And like I said, trying to catch that whey. All right. So, and also my my fine mesh strainer, you kind of want to give it a chance to drain so you can put more ricotta cheese in it. So basically, we're just going to let this drain for 20 to 60 minutes. Again, depending on how loose you like your cheese. You like a loose cheese? Likes to go out at night, huh? Likes to go out with Garbo. Yeah, Greta, Garbo, Mayak, never mind. Does anyone understand my cheesy sense of humor? I don't know. All right, so that's what this entails. I'm gonna finish emptying this pot, but you will come out with a beautiful creamy ricotta after this. Garbo, mommy's silly, right? Mommy's silly. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. I will try and post a picture of the final results in the comments, but I wanted to film this pretty live, and I'm running late, and I'm supposed to meet a friend on Zoom in 4 minutes. So I hope you're all well. Stay safe. Make cheese. It's not that hard. Anyone can do it. Just make sure that your temperature, you're not heating it too quickly. Make sure that you're heating your milk and your cream and salt mixture on sort of medium lowish, because otherwise you're going to get it all burnt to the bottom, and that's no fun. You don't want burnt cheese. That's bad. And again, just to recap, you can either use vinegar or lemon juice, just plain white vinegar that doesn't have much flavor, just so that you keep it flavor neutral, so you can use it in pasta, you can use it in desserts, you can use it for different applications. Mine I like with the lemon juice. It's not a super duper lemony flavor. I just find it gives it a bit of depth that the vinegar doesn't. But again, it depends what application you're using it for and what you like. Some people don't like citrus, like Garbo. Cats. Cats don't like citrus. Anyway, everyone, have a wonderful day. Stay safe. And I hope you and your families and loved ones, non-blood families as well, I hope you're all doing well and staying inside and staying healthy. And yeah, anyway, take care. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for being here for all my cheesy jokes and cheese making. Bye.